Bots for the win.
Coming up on Bots for the Win. Why bots and why now? Why Facebook Messenger? And why you might want to subscribe and listen to this show. My name is Patrick, and I want to thank you for joining me on the inaugural edition of Bots for the Win. Fantastic, right? Another podcast about chatbots. So what is this podcast going to cover then? What's in it for me? The plan is to cover chatbots, messenger marketing, conversational marketing, yes, AI and machine learning, all important, all kind of buzzwords too, right? But of course, they're all going to feature heavily as the show goes on. They have to. But for now, for our immediate purposes, so to speak, the podcast will be focused primarily on hardcore tactical Facebook Messenger marketing, which by extension will also inevitably be quite a bit of Facebook marketing just in general, right? Strategy and tactics, because they go hand to hand. If you're doing one, stands to reason you're doing the other, or you should be. So permit me, if you will, to kind of unpack that, give you my reasoning, my rationale for that, and really sort out the why. So let's start at the top with why bots and why now. And I think if you talk to 5 different people, you might get 5 different answers, like why bots, why now? And I think that's what just makes them so incredibly awesome. So let me drill in and give you mine, so to speak. First at the macro from the perspective of a digital marketer, and then drill more into the micro, which I think will likely not be the reason nor the answer you get from most people when you ask that question, why bots and why now? Now, this list might not be the most comprehensive out there, but it's mine, and what excites me the most about bots and messenger marketing right now as it stands in Q2 of 2018. So why bots and why now at a macro? I believe it to be a better experience for your end user as opposed to the other alternatives out there. I believe it's a better interaction for the brand, company, or individual. Conversations just simply get started where there were none before. I think it saves the end user time when done correctly. And I think we can't ever underestimate how important that one is. It really is all you have to worry about if you ever want to win, right? Save your end user, your customer time, and that's that. You've won. My number one reason for why bots and why now is attention. It's attention. So in order to explain that, I kind of need to go into an attention rant in 3 parts. Part 1, and for part 1, I'd have to say I'm absolutely a disciple of Gary Vaynerchuk on this one. If you don't know who he is, Google him. He's pretty much the Michael Jordan of marketing. Actually, he hates Michael Jordan. That would be funny. But his teaching on this particular thing has really crystallized my own thoughts, as well as spent the last 15 years of my career basically chasing attention myself. But it's important to say, so attention, by which I mean eyeballs, by which I mean people looking at your product, your service, your whatever, right now in this, the year of our Lord, 2018, and for the immediate and foreseeable future, it's everything. It's the price of admission. It's the coin of the realm. If you've got it, you can do anything. Without it, you're not in the game. And it doesn't matter if you're selling services, a product, whatever. If you sell them, you're going to need attention to do so. And I think the new definition of marketing is some sort of 2-stage word. So how do you define marketing? And by the way, if you go online and you do this, there's a lot of different definitions out there. There's no clear, this is what marketing is. In my opinion, marketing is A, figuring out how to get attention, and then B, educating them to make a sale, introducing your product, your service, or whatever it is. I'm working on part 2 of that definition, but part 1 is without question getting the attention. And it's critical to understand that it's very difficult to get attention, and it's not like a light switch, is it? You can't just flip it on and boom, you have attention. Fish do not, unless you're Jesus Christ, jump into the boat. And if you do have the attention, you really can. You can do anything. You have all the power. It's why Facebook is worth so much money, right? Because they have all the attention and all the rest of us need it, so we pay for it. That's part 1. Part 2 is understanding where attention is, figuring out how to find out where attention is. You check one's emotion at the door. You can't get emotional about it. You have to locate where that attention is and then go and get it. So another thing I stole from Gary V is looking in the App Store, and I look both, and I mean daily, both in the iOS store and the Google Play Store, and looking and seeing what are the most downloaded apps, free apps of the day. Now, why would you do something like that? You do that because that's where the attention is. It is pretty much the entire world glued squarely to the remote control of life that's in your pocket. That's right, the phone. It's never more than 6 inches from you the entire day, including when you sleep for most of us, right? So if you have something that's with you for 24 hours a day that you're constantly looking at, if you want to market something, figuring out how to get yourself into that device, probably a reasonable place to start. So that's part 2. Part 3, getting the attention and keeping the attention in our always distracted, short attention span theater we live in. It's just hard. It's really, really hard. On the one end of the scale, it takes serious hustle if you're going to do it for free. And then on the other end of the scale, it takes a serious amount of money, by which I mean paying for ads and such. Regardless of where you are on that scale, I think it's just really, really important for a marketer to understand how tough attention is to get. Once you understand that, once you appreciate it, once you respect it, then your focus tends to shift very quickly on how to get the best ROI out of that attention when you do have it, how to not lose it. So chatbots and messenger marketing, and especially Facebook Messenger, as I endeavor to explain, I believe proffered one of the most amazing opportunities, one of the most amazing tools in getting just way, way, way more ROI out of your attention. Ever since I've started building them and running them, I've been absolutely blown away. You can just simply do more and get more out of that attention once you have it. And for me, that is the number one reason for me, not to dip a toe into this bot thing and understand it, but to literally do the triple Lindy off the high dive into the deep end. So that's how I feel about bots. That's for me, why bots and why now. But I also believe that bots are just the future, period. Now, attention for me, like I said, is enough. If it was just the attention piece, I would be over the moon and all in. Attention, and then why bots help with that and how to leverage those two and how to strategically think about those two, without question, a sub-theme of this podcast. No question going forward. The thing is, turns out these chatbots have some awesome side benefits and not some lousy ones either. Quite to the contrary. It's sort of like dating a gal, who is awesome and that you love. You would date her 8 days a week regardless. She's great. And then you find out her dad is actually... he's done well for himself. He's got a 72-foot Viking sport fisher that comes with a captain and a cook, and it doesn't get used enough. Yeah, I'm talking about side benefits at that level, right? So I want to cover some of the side benefits, but before I do, let me stay on sort of this future piece for a minute. Why chatbots are the future. So why bots and why now? Voice is both already here and seriously coming. I'm not sure how into voice you are yet. Pretty much everyone's touched it or tasted it a little bit, at least with Siri or Assistant if you're an Android type, right? Personally, I've swan dived onto the deep end of this one. I love them both. Everywhere in my house, I've got one or the other. I don't want to name them because I don't want to trigger them. Actually, you know what? Come to think of it, let's just qualify that. Alexa, what time is it?
It's 11:28 a.m.
Okay, Google, what time is it?
The time is 11:29 a.m.
Hey, Cortana, what time is it?
It's 11:29 a.m.
Got that Cortana set to the Australian accent for fun. But, if you haven't gotten into the smart speaker market, smart home market, highly recommend you do. It's absolutely the future. It's fantastic. If you get the Google one and a Google Chromecast and the fact that I can pick my son up in the morning, plop him down in his high chair, tell Google to play something from YouTube and I don't have to touch anything and it turns the TV on and plays it. Awesome. So the fantastic experience, and the why bots and why now? They are all gonna merge. They're all gonna merge. Bots are gonna become what they call truly multimodal experiences. So people will be able to enter, interact, and drive and exit your bot via text, voice, and touchscreen. Hence multimodal. Side note: that Cortana is actually really coming up and starting to be a pretty good one if you're a Windows user. I recommend you try it. Certainly not Apple coming up. So people are going to call out your brand by name and be placed into a multimodal experience where your customer gets what they want without having to waste a whole lot of time. That's just happening. Facebook's coming with their voice assistant shortly, and sans the Cambridge Analytica thing that just blew up, I think they would have already dropped it at that last F8 conference that they just have. So why bots and why now? The sooner you get in the game, the sooner you learn the ropes, the greener the grass is going to be. You know, the one you're working on now will absolutely eventually plug in with both voice and AI and be serving your customers. So get started now, get the head start. I think it's going to really seriously pay off. And, you know, you remember the attention thing? Think fishing spot. You know, you're on your girlfriend dad's 72-foot Viking, and you start building bots. Now you're going to get to the fishing spot before everyone else. There's going to be an arbitrage for that, and you're going to catch way more fish than anyone else is. By the time everyone else gets there, you're going to be headed home on the 72, crushing beers and laughing. So it's a great time to get in. Just a fantastic time to get in. They absolutely are the future. I so believe it. Personally, I believe in it so strongly, I might even launch a podcast. What? Say what? So why bots? Why now? Let me get into some of the other reasons in no particular order. Why bots and why now? Conversations. This is just another huge one. If attention is so hard to get, if attention costs so much money, if you are working and paying to get that attention, the last thing you want that attention to do is to come to your website and bounce. A simple contrast is if you throw a chatbot widget on your website, the next thing you know, instead of somebody just bouncing, you're actually having a conversation with a potential customer. You know, the website chat is not the only example, right? It doesn't matter how they get into the bot. You end up having a conversation with your potential customer. And yes, believe me, I've been through enough conversations. You have to kiss a bunch of frogs to find the prince, so to speak, right? But you're having conversations, you're getting better, you're iterating, you're figuring out how to automate things. You were not having those conversations to this extent before. You just weren't. The business commandment of sorts, he who is closest to the customer wins. Absolutely believe that's the case. So there's just an incredible opportunity there. Why bots? Why now? The personalized experience. The personalized experience is just so easy to do with a combination of tags. The tags would be put on based on where they come from. If they came from Facebook or from Instagram or from your email list, and you ask them some questions, and so you got tags on your customers. Then you start using some conditional logic. If they came from Instagram, show them my Facebook page. If they came from Facebook, show them my Instagram page. Try to get them to follow there. Plus the first name data that you're able to get, and obviously I'm talking about Facebook Messenger at this part. More on that in a second, though. You can just create an experience that is so personalized. It's custom tailored to your user. It is better for your user. People like being called their first name. And you contrast that with the one-size-fits-all website experience that 99.9% of the sites on the internet are running right now. They are not changing dynamically based on what they have in their database tagged for a user. Shout out to Brennan Dunn, who's got a company called Right Message that's trying to do that right now, which I think is a really cool idea. But really, this personalization gives you the ability to do the right message to the right person at the right time. So why bots? Why now? I believe it forces one to do permission marketing. This one is great. It ain't so easy to abuse bots like it is, say, email. And I'm sticking with Facebook on this one, but everybody's talking about the fact that you can broadcast with these crazy high open rates. Well, the penalty box kind of has a little bit more teeth on this one. So let me explain. If you're someone out there that's emailing your marketing messages and you're sending it to people and people don't really want to see it and don't really want to read it, and maybe you piss off Google and your domain gets flagged and all your stuff is ending up in the spam tab or the promotional tab. At the end of the day, you're just a spammer that's pissed off Google. You can do a whole bunch of things to fix those. You're still in the game. You can still send email. With Facebook, that's not the case. They control both ends of this operation. And so if you get a little loose in the turns and you piss them off, you're out. It's kind of like you're standing on top of the table in the club. Somebody just brought a magnum of champagne with a firework in it. You're dancing around, and the next thing you know, you get ripped from behind, thrown out the door. The door is locked, and there's no recourse. There's no velvet ropes. You're not coming back in. That's it. There's not even an explanation. You're out. You're out like Mo Green at the Tropicana. So that is going to force a whole lot of people to start behaving as better netizens and going to force us into more permission marketing, which I think is a great thing for everybody. So why bots and why now? The sheer amount of opportunities that this space has created, is creating, and will create is so insanely staggering. It's mind-boggling. It's sort of like in your backyard, a new airport got opened up. Think about how many different people there are it takes, how many different jobs, how many different opportunities for a business there is at the airport. You've got everything from the valet to the baggage handlers to the ticket operators to the ticket kiosks and the software for the kiosks and whoever does the IT on the kiosks and whoever cleans the screens on the kiosks to the security guy to the baggage handler. Did I already say baggage handlers? To the TSA people, to all the people running the gift shops, to the security guy, to the guy that fixes the security machine, to the guy that does the little wand thing and does the groping and fixes the radar machine, let alone the pilots. I mean, and on and on and on. That is the sheer, that for me is like the sheer magnitude, the sheer number of jobs, number of businesses, number of opportunities that are about to be started in this thing. It is just absolutely staggering to wrap one's head around. I mean, the bot builders, the maintenance, the one that stitches the bots, all the other bots, the AI side, the machine learning side. It's just going to be an incredible gold rush. I mean, it just is. It is the next big thing. It is going to be bigger than the internet without question, in my opinion. So what a fantastic opportunity to get in front of that tidal wave, start learning, start educating, get into this nascent space and start dominating. If I like hockey, I don't necessarily not like it. I just don't know anything about it. I would mention some guy named Gretzky in his line about skating to where the puck is going to be. So why bots and why now? Essentially, a new language is emerging in terms of the communication. If you've not experienced a bot, everything is shorter. Love this part of it. Bot conversation features the heavy use of emojis. It features the heavy use of GIFs. Typos and abbreviations are pretty much completely kosher at this juncture. It's pretty much like text messages, right? And everyone's done that, so everyone can wrap their head around that. But not everyone has done that in a business context, right? So you kind of need to rethink it a little bit. And it's classic. What was it that Faulkner and Hemingway, two authors, get into it, and Faulkner takes a swipe at Hemingway for not ever sending a reader to a dictionary, and then Hemingway comes back and he's like, "Poor Faulkner. Do you really think big emotions come from big words? Burn." Love that, Hemingway. And he's right though. So you can with these really short and pithy conversations and short texts, you can come out with just an extremely powerful message. And bonus, it's better for your end user. They don't want to read all of this stuff, and it's better for you because you don't want to write all of that stuff. And so it's a new form of communication that's emerging. It takes word. It's like a new language. It's like anything else. It's going to take some practice to get good at it. So start practicing, start giving it a shot. Now, why bots and why now? In full disclosure here, I'm a ManyChat user. To build bots with ManyChat is a big, a visual, they call it a flow builder, but actually everyone's starting to call them flows, regardless of the sector. So I think that keyword's going to stick. But it's basically a big mind map looking thing with conditional logic and little arrows, and you're dropping blocks onto the map saying, go here, if not go there, come back here, all of that kind of thing. That mind map, that conditional logic, that tags, that is going to be the new standard going forward. It appears, at least here early on. There's a company called Storyline. Shout out to Vasily over there. Y Combinator and the whole thing came out and it allows you to build skills for Alexa. Their flow builder looks almost exactly. Oh no, Alexa's going to butt in. Exactly like the ManyChat one does. And so I think it's a skill set that is going to be highly coveted here going forward, and learning and getting good at it now is going to give you the ability to build in any of them, assuming Facebook Messenger somehow loses. Hashtag it's not losing. Zucks is not MySpace Tom. Okay, so why bots? Why now? The nuance, the tradecraft. If you get into a bot experience where there is a talented builder and you go through it and you're moving from here and there and you're kicking around, and maybe you kick the menu, and the quality of the conversation and how it keeps you engaged and how it keeps you enraptured, it takes some serious tradecraft and testing to be able to do that. It likely sounds like gibberish if you've not experienced and had a great bot experience, but once you do, oh, it's a beautiful thing. It is just absolutely a beautiful thing. And so it's completely different too than what most people are marketing, what most people are used to in a communication capacity. And so it's an amazing thing. You want to learn, you want to get going right now. So that's why bots and why now. Also, why bots and why now? It gives you, and again, I'm talking about Facebook Messenger, this part. It gives you a mobile app without the app submittal process and coding for two different platforms. It just does. When you get and you see how fully featured these bot building programs are, I'm talking about the two big ones, ManyChat and Chatfuel. I mean, you are using video and voice and text and emojis, and you're driving people around this experience, and it is It feels very much like an app-based experience, like you're driving someone's native app that they put in the App Store that you had to download. It's that cool. It's that amazing. It just is. Guess what, though? You don't have to hire a coder. You don't have to write a line of code. You don't have to submit it. You don't have to make a version for Apple and make a version for Google and then constantly update them every time Android or iOS gets updated. You're not doing any of that. You know who is? Facebook. It's their app. It's their problem. You got to just build your app inside of their app, which is just an amazing, amazing thing. And it's not only do you just hit save or hit publish in the case of ManyChat, and it's live and it's in there and people can be going through it. You're watching them go through it. You're watching them go through it in real time. You're making tweaks. You're adding in A/B tests. It is just phenomenal. And it really does feel like a mobile app with like all of the friction gone. The friction is just gone. So why bots and why now? There is not a one-size-fits-all bot. Disclaimer, of course, there's going to be one-size-fits-all bots, right? There's going to be bots you can buy right off the shelf. If you're a restaurant, people are going to build fantastically templated out bots that handle every single solitary bit of the restaurant process that is super repeatable. If you've got a restaurant, you could probably just wait and pay a good chunk of change and get a killer thing and just put your menu and everything else into it. By the way, I've heard there's restaurants already that takes the booking in Facebook Messenger and lets you pay. So your bill just comes to you the minute it's done. You pay in Messenger and you get up and you leave. That is paradise for me. I hate Europe. It's not true. I love Europe. But, I'm an American. I'm impatient. If I want to get up after a meal, I want to get up after a meal. If Facebook Messenger lets me do that, that is the home run of all home runs. Anyway, in those cases, yes, there will be a bot you can buy off the shelf. But for the rest of us that have businesses that are all different, all nuanced, all different moving parts, this, that, and the other, there's no shortcut here. There's just not going to be a bot off the shelf that you're just going to buy and bolt onto your business and it's just going to work. Zoom. Further, AI and machine learning, yes, it's coming. Yes, it's coming quicker than we ever thought, and it's going to be incredible. But let me tell you, it takes huge data sets to make them work automatically and work really, really well. For years to come, in my estimation, I'm not an expert. For years to come, though, just knowing it, there's not going to be some AI that you get to just buy and bolt onto your bot off the shelf, and the next thing you know, you fired half your customer service staff and your profits are up twice. That ain't happening. Just not happening. It's not happening in the short term. It's probably not happening in the long term either. The point of all that is you need to get in and start building your bot for your business and learning and iterating. Why? Because it's going to end up being a tremendous asset to your business. It should be thought of as an asset. And once you go through that whole process of figuring out what to do in these situations, how this best integrates with your HR person so it cuts down their hours, how Bob in accounting is loving it because he's getting all that, whatever the case may be, all of those various different tweaks and nuances of your business, there is no shortcut aside from learning and iterating and getting your way there. You're not going to get the lessons that you need to make that bot experience incredible for your customers until you ship it. You got to ship it and get it in there. So I think that is a critically important one. My last one, this one is last on purpose because I think this is the sucker bet. My buddy's dad, we used to love playing craps and he would always say the field is a sucker bet. Don't bet the field, it's a sucker bet. The sucker bet is getting into messenger marketing, thinking it's all about the open rates, thinking that Facebook Messenger marketing is the new email. And I've been guilty of that early on too, using that as a sexy headline when something else I was doing. I didn't mean it then, I don't mean it now. It's a sucker's bet, it's a trap. You want to know why? The number one thing, you can get banned from Facebook so hard. You can get slapped down on this thing so hard. So the open rates also, there's a nice little arbitrage on them now because it's so new and it's shiny. It's going away. People are already starting to abuse it. People are already starting to get annoyed. And that part of it is going to go away. It just is. Not everybody is going to be text messages beeping on their phone all the time from 50 different bots. It's just not happening. Not happening. So, and Facebook is going to guard this so closely. Like if the experience goes even a little bit sideways for their users, this party is over. So yes, it's pretty incredible. The open rates are really, really strong right now. There's no question about that. I'm enjoying it thoroughly. But don't hang your hat on that hook because that's all going to change. So that covers why bots, why now. Now I want to cover why Facebook Messenger. Why am I advocating more than anything else for Facebook Messenger? What are the huge differences? And I think before we answer that question, we have to say briefly sort of where the bot landscape is in this moment and where the bot landscape is at this moment for the Western world, China, for a number of different reasons, primarily the fact that those Chinese characters are way too difficult to type out, is way ahead of us in voice, way ahead of us in bot usage, and on a whole other level. And I want to do some episodes by that. And I've got to get a Chinese person that lives over there, and an American lives over there, or somebody, because I would love to hear it and really dive into that. But in the Western world, let's just contrast the two ways that you could be into bots right now. One would be a standalone one, bolted onto your website, of which there's been lots in the past. There's lots that exist right now. Or your bot lives on a third-party service. So I want to focus on those two. You could technically say there's text message bots, especially in the political capacity, but I don't want to get into this. So that would be the third, though. But the freestanding bot, right, of which there's a whole bunch of different entities all over the place. My favorite one, by the way, is Drift. They've got a great podcast over there. Love it. Shout out to the uncle. But you've got those, or you've got the ones that are bolted onto services. So think Facebook Messenger, or Slack, or Skype, or Telegram, or Discord, or Twitter, or Kik. And obviously, why would you want to put your bot, consider building your bot on these places? Because these services have attention. And remember everything about attention. So for me, why Facebook Messenger? Out of all the ones I could pick, why Facebook Messenger? And I think it starts and it stops with two huge reasons for me, and then some secondary reasons. Now, number one, most important reason, sub-theme in this podcast, goes back to attention. Remember to look at both app stores. Again, I do it daily, and you see what's getting downloaded. You're in the Play Store, you're in the iOS store, you do that. If you've been doing that for years, the top 10 doesn't change all that often. And Facebook Messenger has been in both of them, both in the Play Store and in the iOS store, has been the number one, number two, number three results pretty much for the last couple of years. So the point is that the entire world has this app on their phone and is running around with this app on their phone. So want to go where the attention is. Don't be emotional about it. The attention's there. That's where you go. Number two, and up until I recorded this, I would say not enough people have been talking about number two, but more people are starting to talk about it now. And it's that with option A, not on Facebook Messenger, or not on any of the rest of them, but not on Facebook Messenger. If you just got standalone on your website, yes, it's better than not having a bot at all. But when the conversation, when they leave, so let's just say, and I'll give you an example because I've got a great example. I've got a buddy of mine, okay? He sells commercial real estate. The buyer for commercial real estate is often pretty old school, probably not on Facebook, not on Instagram, might even be a Rolodex guy that doesn't even send emails, right? Like his contacts are literally in a Rolodex and he's got a flip phone, right? Old school. So in that capacity for his business, Facebook Messenger is probably not the right bot, right? So I use Drift, which is one of the website standalone ones. And somebody came to his website and was interested in a huge building and chatted up his website. And my buddy didn't get to it quick enough, and the guy bounced. He didn't leave his email. So there was the opportunity for a conversation on what would have been a huge sale if it ever went through. Who knows if it did or didn't. But he came and he left, he bounced just like the website. So contrast that with if instead of Drift, Facebook Messenger was running on that site. And what you get in that situation is the conversation doesn't end until they physically close it out and press stop. Even then you can get back. So what happens is because they have this app in their pocket 24 hours a day with them all the time, everywhere, remote control of life, you can continue the conversation at another point in time. That is just a game changer right now. It is an absolute game changer. I mean, you can get into these, on demand when you want them conversations, and you don't need to feel like you need to have an army in your company all day long staffing the chat from 24 hours a day, just answering because otherwise the people will leave. No. Once they're in. You can have the conversation with them at your leisure. So that is just a huge reason, those two. Right now, those are the two big ones for me anyway, but let's cover the rest of them. Number three, Facebook is extremely incentivized to explode Messenger as a platform. Number one, they're running out of new ad real estate. So anything that gives them new ad real estate is the primary driver of their business. Also, I think, which is the biggest one, is bots have the potential to completely replace websites for so many companies. Not in all instances, but for a whole lot of companies, they're going to get into a situation and they're going to say, why the heck would I need a website when I can just have a bot experience and put everything in there? Why would I need to go to your website when, very soon I'll be able to use a combination of text and voice to talk to your business and get whatever the heck it is that I need? I wouldn't and I won't. Facebook wants to host this party so bad. They'll do everything in their power to do so. They wanted Facebook 1.0, the current Facebook situation. They wanted the entire internet locked up in there. If they had their druthers, that's how it would be. Facebook would be the portal to the internet and you would never leave it. And they did their best to do that. Dr. Evil status with Facebook 1.0. 2.0 is Messenger. And they want all of the conversations that everybody has in every business in the world to be inside of it. So they're going to go nuts to incentivize this, and they have all the attention. So it really, all of that combined makes it very, very compelling. Number 4, Facebook has true personalization baked in standard. You are not having a conversation with some person that doesn't have an avatar and whose screen name is Hillary for prison _666. Okay. You're having a conversation with somebody whose real Facebook ID is there. It's their face, their name, their profile. Even if it's set to private, you still have some visual information there. And people tend to behave differently when they are not behind a wall of you don't really know who the true identity is, right? Like, even on Twitter, you could say, like, a lot of people say some pretty mean and nasty and terrible things because they're still just kind of hiding behind a screen name or an alias. That's not the case on Facebook. Pretty much everyone signs up for Facebook with their real first name and last name. So that level of personalization baked in stock, and the fact that you can leverage it all the time in your chat interactions, everybody loves their first name. The power of their first name, right? So that part is incredible too. That's a big one. And then number 5, the platforms that or software companies that exist right now, Q2 2018, that let you build bots on top of Messenger. The 2 big ones that I've said are ManyChat, which I use, and then Chatfuel. These things are feature rich and insane. They are insane, and I'm talking no coding required, work out of the box, awesome, just awesome. As I said, ManyChat guide personally. So for the early episodes of this show, that's definitely where things are going to skew. But I do pay close attention to what goes on in the Chatfuel community, and in many cases, I think Chatfuel's got a much better community. But they're awesome. So that, in my opinion, is why Messenger, why Facebook Messenger, why this entire podcast is going to be about that Facebook Messenger, why for the foreseeable future, Facebook Messenger is where the party's at. So why this podcast? Why should you subscribe? Why should you listen? What should you expect? Number 1, all the episodes are not going to be this long. I feel like I'm really going long-winded on this, but I wanted to get my thesis down, plant my flag in the sand. So what can you expect? With this podcast, it is early. I do like Eat My Own Dog Food, which is just ship it, launch, get it out there, get some feedback, and iterate. So that's going to be the case. Reserve the right to course correct at any point in time, but I really want to focus it on hardcore tactical episodes about how to market using Facebook Messenger. Now, the difficulty there is it brings up a huge problem. Bot building is super technical. Believe video is going to be the solution. We like video around now, so what we'll probably do is either one long video per episode, or each episode will come with a whole bunch of videos, or it could be additional content material, but we're going to be leaning heavy on video. So that's why he's planning to take care of that. Now, I don't think you can have a podcast like this without a heavy emphasis on advertising and marketing in general on both Facebook and Instagram. It's where the attention is, and ads and Messenger go together like malted hops, yeast, and water. I mean, it's just a fantastic combination. So we're going to cover it. Now, a heavy slant, without question, will be on how you can best leverage a bot for content marketing and growing a business. It's what I know, it's what I love, and what I love to talk about. So there's going to be a lot of that going on. Above that, I really do want to create a podcast that you'll get value out of no matter where you are in your bot building journey. So if you're just getting started or thinking about it or want to learn more about bots, I hope this podcast will educate you about what's going on, some of the things that you can do, some of the results that you can get. And I hope to nudge you in this direction. If you've got some experience with bots and want to level up, I hope this show can provide some guidance, some motivation, a whetstone you can sharpen your blade against, and at times, entertainment, now and then a cold beer. So if you're a pro, you're likely much better than me at this. Email me, tell me your secrets so I can level up myself. I'll pay. Cash, beers, some combo, you decide. What about guests? Love guests, want to have guests. Scheduling guests is a pain, as well as the audio issues. That's why everybody does the good podcast, do all their audio with guests in person. But I'm not opposed. Not guaranteed, but not opposed. TBD on that, on the guests. It's going to have to be guests. Who are we kidding? This is just too broad of a subject, and no one can have all the knowledge. So that's where we're at so far. Let's roll. Reserve the right to switch directions at any time, and buckle up on all of that. If you do decide to subscribe, to listen, to like, to share, to get into my bot, know this: I'm flattered, I'm humbled, and ultimately so extremely grateful. So huge thanks ahead of time. Now, one feature idea that I did have to kind of give the show some structure and some balance is I'm contemplating talking briefly about a bot experience at the end of each show, a bot teardown, I guess. And I think touching, tasting, experiencing bots on all platforms, by the way, is a hugely important part of learning and getting better at building them. And so I've really been forcing myself to like experience a whole bunch of different ones on a whole bunch of different sites. And I'm going to do an episode coming up on what's the best way to go do that and how best to learn about bots and all of that. So that's happening. So the plan is to experience a bot, film it, film the entire thing, the cell phone version of it, right? So film the cell phone, and then break it down a bit, what I liked about it, talk about it. And so I've done that for this episode. And my pick for this week is I went to the source. Facebook just last week, as I'm recording this, had their F8 conference, up in the Bay Area. Big deal. And what was really, really cool, this is the first time I even thought about this, is they created a bot experience just for the conference. So just think bot experience for a live event, and that would be how you get all the details of the event. That would be the event website. And it was really, really cool to see this. It was really, really cool to experience it. So I have the video of driving and going through all of it and explaining it more in depth. But let me just say, again, what an amazing, amazing usage. All the details about the upcoming sessions were in there, what session you wanted to attend, and reminders, and you could favorite various different ones. And they had the Wi-Fi password in there, and lost and found, and a map, and if I recall correctly. Anyway, I've got a video walking through all of it, but what an amazing, amazing usage of a bot. And what was also really cool is I got into it a little bit late, not before the conference started. What was also really cool was, they're constantly broadcasting in there. Remember to come pick up your free Oculus Rift at such and such place. And I've got screenshots of all of this that'll be in the video. I really think you should check the video out. And then also like, hey, it's going to be happy hour. Everybody come at 5:00. And to think that everybody walking around that conference had no doubt had to go through registration, get into that bot experience. And everybody in the entire conference is getting text messages. Hey, we're having happy hour over here. Awesome. What a fantastic usage of a bot. And I'm sure there's just going to be so many use cases like that going down the line. So if you want to see that, what do you got to do? You got to get into my chatbot. Get in there. You've likely heard a podcast before, right? How do most of them end? They end with an ask. 90% of the time, it's to leave me a review on iTunes. Lame, right? Like, why is iTunes going to own it? I'm of the opinion that absolutely all of that is about to change. Going forward, some people are already doing this. You're going to start seeing the smart folks, but very quickly, everybody else, the ask is going to start being get into my bot. For now, we'll say something like, for the show notes, video, and all other resources mentioned in today's episode, pull out your phone, open Messenger, and search for Bots for the Win. Click Get Started. You'll be in the bot experience. You can get the video I explained earlier, the show notes, and everything else to do with this particular episode. And so, that's what it is for now. Likely in the next few months, as soon as Facebook opens up their voice platform, I have to imagine you're going to be able to just take your phone, press a button, and say, so I would say, for the show notes, video, and all other resources mentioned in today's episode, ask M. M is, their Alexa. I think it's going to be their Alexa, just the letter M, their virtual assistant. So for today's episode, ask M for Bots for the Win, and that will, via one line of voice, place you into a bot experience. And so that's what I would say. I'll say for the show notes video, ask M for Bots for the Win. And so you'll be able to pull your phone out, say Bots for the Win, and then I'll throw you right into my bot experience just like that. That's insane. That's amazing. I think that's coming really, really quickly. So all pretty nifty. So seriously, this time, pull out your phone, open Messenger, and search for Bots for the Win. 4 words, Bots for the Win. Show notes, that video, everything else will be in there. Thanks for listening. Have a great day. And as always, cold beers.